So with the recent winter weather that we've had severe low temperatures, we've always got the question is like, how does this impact mosquitoes? And one of the main things is it's important to know that we have three different kinds of mosquitoes that are important in Oklahoma. And when I say three different kinds, three groups, the first group is Aedes, or those that are grouped into these container breeding mosquitoes. Then we also have Culex mosquitoes that are involved with a lot of different things, including West Nile virus. And then we also, the last group is what we call the Serophora, that are what we consider the more traditional floodwater mosquitoes, that are the large mosquitoes that you see towards the beginning of the season and sometimes later in the summer as well. And so when we think about the mosquitoes that are important in Oklahoma that can transmit different pathogens that can cause disease, the two main ones we're going to be focusing on are Aedes mosquitoes and Culex mosquitoes. The first one, the Aedes mosquitoes, are what we call the container breeding mosquitoes. And they're always associated with areas that you don't think water is gathering, such as backyard gardens, any kind of cistern that can hold a water for a long time. That's where these will be breeding. And they overwinter differently than the other types of mosquitoes because they overwinter as in the egg stage. Now, when we consider what's important for what we call overwintering, it's basically this concept is what we know is diapause. Diapause just mainly means that it's a physiological state that the mosquito prepares for that can occur in different life stages. The second group that we're concerned with are the Culex mosquitoes that we tend to have probably more abundance of when we look at seasonal populations of mosquitoes across Oklahoma. And this group is very important because they're the ones that are involved in transmitting West Nile virus. Now, how they overwinter is important because they overwinter as adults. And when you think about a Culex type mosquito that overwinters as an adult, that means they can find a lot of different hiding places. And they can overwinter in those locations. So it allows them to be a little bit more successful because they're not stationary. They can move somewhat. Now, they still go into diapause, but the diapause is as the adult, which means they just slow their physiological processes. And what we call the overwintering adults, they usually have more fat deposits, and they usually have an extra layer of what we call hydrocarbons that allows them to protect themselves from extreme winter weather. Extreme weather can impact them, but it's usually those in those overwintering states. So what that means is that we may not necessarily see an impact long term, but we could see a delayed season.